Hey, welcome back to the buffer. And today we're talking about boundaries that are not walls, they're filters. Remember, this is the buffer, a place between what you feel and what you choose to do next. So today, let's talk about something that many people misunderstand, avoid, or feel guilty about, and that's boundaries. That's right, boundaries. People think that boundaries push people away. That's not true. They sort people out. If boundaries feel uncomfortable to you, it's usually not because you're unkind. It's because somewhere along the way you learned that saying no meant disappointing someone, or disappointing someone felt dangerous. So you explain, you soften it, you delayed it, and you overextend it. Not because you wanted to, because it felt easier than to stand firm. Have any of you ever got to that place? Where instead of you setting up the boundaries and say, this is how we're going to do it, or this is how it's going to come back, you sat there and just extended it a little longer, like, okay, I'll try this, I'll try that. But here's the truth about most people miss. Boundaries are not walls meant to be isolated. They're filters that meant to protect you. They do not shut people out. They reveal who's to respect you. Anyone that's benefiting from your lack of boundaries will resist them. The resistance doesn't mean that you're wrong. It means the filters are working. Think of that. If you look at your boundaries as filters, then the boundaries only set up for people who mean you harm, or people that's not going to help you to get to that next level. They're spending too much of your time. They're too needy. They're bringing things up that you're not comfortable with. So you create these boundaries, or we say filters. Think about the area in your life where you feel drained instead of being fulfilled. The conversations that you avoid, the communication that you regret, the relationship that's feel one-sided. They're not accidents. They're a place where boundaries were needed. But speed, guilt, or fear pushes you past them. This is why that buffer needed. Between request and response, there is a pause. As you know, the buffer is built to talk about the pause moments. And in that pause, you decide whether you're going to act from alignment or from obligation. Think about that. Are you obligated to keep making spaces for people who willingly go out their way to bring discomfort to you, put you in uncomfortable places? Are you obligated to keep pushing, or giving more of yourself when getting nothing in return? Are you obligated to hear foolishness when there's no substance for growth? Can you see why you would put boundaries in place or put filters in place? Or are you looking for alignment where you're putting these boundaries and filters in place to help you to be able to navigate through this thing we call life, to better understand the reason why you do what you do? In a pause, these boundaries are created or born, or these filters are installed. It's not for a confrontation. It's not for anger. But it's for clarity. Let's just keep it clear. You don't need to explain boundaries. You don't need to justify your limits. You don't need to negotiate your peace. A calm no is often more honest than an exhausted yes. Think on that for a minute. If you want to know where your boundaries should be, pay attention to your resentment. Resentment is not a character flaw. It is a signal that something or someone crossed the line you never paused long enough to name. The next time you feel pressure to agree, try this. Check your body. Notice the tension. If the answer costs you peace, then it's not the right answer for you. The moment of honesty is not selfish. It is self-leadership. I want y'all to understand that the body tenses up and lets you know that there is something that needs to be done, or there's some negativity that could come about it. The body says, hey, slow down. And if you ignore it, then later on you pay the price of the problems that come about because you didn't set your boundaries, because you didn't let those filters get in place to help you to weed out some of these things. Again, boundaries are not walls, they're filters. And we have to understand that those filters are there to protect our energy, to bring clarity to our relationship, and keep us in alignment with who we are trying to become. Remember, we're trying to create a space between what we're feeling and the choices that we're going to take next. This pause that I'm talking about gives you the chance to look at alignment versus obligation. Are you moving in obligation? And obligation could be to yourself, that you need to put these filters or these boundaries in place so that you can have a sense of normacy. Or it may be an alignment that where you've been going, that these people cannot go because they're bringing more negativity than positivity. They're not able to speak into your life. They're not able to bring something in front of you. So, and cutting them off is putting up perimeters that I'm going to keep you in my life for the role that I need you to play in. You're not there for the full circle, the full totality of what I'm trying to do. You play a key part, but that part has limiters. Therefore, that filter has to be put in place. But are you creating these filters? Are you looking at your boundaries? You know, one thing I love about filters, and I think about my AC unit, I put my filter in there every three months, or 30 or 3 months, you go and change your filter, put a new one in. How many times are you looking at your boundaries? Are you looking at, do I need to change them or add more to it or reconstruct them? You can't have the same dirty filter in place year after year. Yes, there's some things that's just going to have to stay the way it is, but there's some tweaking come. So maybe somebody who previously was restricted due to this, that, or the other, or put boundaries up on them, maybe now you see that, you know what, maybe I realized to put them in a strategic area, say now they're aligning and they're obligated to be in this place because of the fact I need this from them. Sometimes you need people just for more support, but they can't give you guidance and direction because they're not on the same wavelength for understanding, but they're due for be good for data boys or those uplift moments. Think on that for a minute. But while you're thinking, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can be notified, because we want to make sure we continue to teach you more of the pause that we need, because this is what the buffer was created for. Again, the buffer is a place between what you feel and what you choose to do next. The buffer.